Hey guys, do you guys remember the story of the giant of Kandahar? And back in back in the war when we were fighting in Afghanistan, some special forces, U.S. special forces, they went into Kandahar and they found a cave, and they heard something in the cave, and something came out that um, didn't look like a human too much. I mean, it was like big and ugly, and it had a lot of toes and a lot of fingers. And to make a long story short, some of the special forces soldiers were killed in action. But they also were able to kill that giant, and it actually took a Chinook helicopter, you know, to actually strap and hoist this dead body of this giant, and they flew it somewhere. I don't know where, I forgot. But if you go on YouTube and you search for documentaries about the giant of Kandahar, you'll find out more. And so I wanted to show you a verse, a Bible passage, an account in the Tanakh, or the original covenant, in 2 Samuel. And then I wanted to show you a stage where Hamas was releasing the Israelis that were held hostage on October 7th. Remember, some of them were released during different periods of time throughout this last 400 days almost of war. So you can put two and two together. So we're in 2 Samuel, 2 Samuel 21 at verse 20. There was war at Gath again, where there was a man of great stature who had 6 fingers on each hand and 6 toes on each foot, 24 in number. And he also had been born to the giant. When he defied Israel, Jonathan, the son of Shimei, David's brother, struck him down. These 4 were born to the giant in Gath, and they fell by the hand of David and by the hand of his servants. So with that passage being read, you guys remember after the Israelites, they were taken out of, they went on the Exodus out of Egypt, right? And eventually they went to the land of Canaan, right? And Canaan was inhabited by a whole bunch of evil people. And God said, no, this is your land. You're going to have it. This is your land. And there were 12, there were 12 spies, one from each tribe of Israel, sent to go out and spy out the land of Canaan for 40 days and to come back and give a report. And it was only Joshua and Caleb who came back with a good report, but the other ones came back with a bad report, saying, we were like grasshoppers. There's no way that we're going to go into that land and take possession of that land, even though God led us through this wilderness by a pillar of cloud during the day and a pillar of cloud at night. A pillar of cloud during the day and a pillar of fire at night, and all these miracles that happened along the way. We were fed supernaturally with manna coming down from the heavens, and quail coming down from the heavens, and we were fed water in a dry desert, and we survived all of this, but we still don't trust in the Almighty, the God of Israel. And so Joshua and Caleb, they came with a big branch of grapes, and the grapes were so heavy. They were huge grapes. I mean, it was indeed a land flowing with milk and honey, right? So the rest of the people, I guess it was 10, right? It was 10, yeah. 10 of the people that went in there said, no, we're not going to succeed. This is a setup. I'd rather go back to Egypt where there's meat and we can just relax and chill. I'm paraphrasing, obviously, but Joshua and Caleb, they're the only ones that said, yeah, there are giants in that land, but we can do anything, because if God is for us, who can be against us? Nobody, And he's already demonstrated that to us, right? And so that just goes to show that our sovereign Lord is greater than the giants we face in our lives, right? And if we let fear dominate us, then the enemy wins. The enemy has a stronghold on us. He uses fear as a tactic, right? Just as he used fear as a tactic with the 12 spies, right? And so I wanted to show you that you have to remember that Hamas and the people that embrace this religion, this satanic religion called Islam, that they do not fear the God of Israel. They listen to Satan because he's the father of all lies, and they actually are proud of it, so much so that they show this. Remember this? This was a few months ago. But if you look here, you see a fist. How many fingers do you see on that fist? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just like the Bible described. Even more startling is what it says here. Were the flood, the war's next day. So they're almost saying that, I don't know what they're saying by that, but it has something to do with the flood and the Nephilim, and it just goes to show how evil they are. And so we all saw today what happened in Qatar, right? That the IDF, the Air Force, went in there and they did a strategic strike and took out the rest of the Hamas leadership, or most of the Hamas leadership. The same ones that were caught on camera bowing down to Allah, praising him while they were watching live Al Jazeera TV on October 7th. They were watching babies being burned alive in ovens. They were watching people being set on fire. They were watching women being raped. They were watching basically just brutality. Basically what the devil had possessed them to do, right? And so, you know, the God of Israel is awesome. And it cannot be thwarted. And it just reminds me of Joshua 1:9 as well. And this applies for all of us, right? Because we all serve the same God, right? Joshua 1:9 says, have I not commanded you? Be brave and courageous. Do not be discouraged or dismayed. For the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. So I just wanted to put that in your head, and for you guys to always remember that, because there's a lot of fear in this world today, you know? And the only way we're going to stand up to that fear is, it's not us, but it's the Holy Spirit that indwells us. That's how we're going to have, he's the lifter of our heads, like David said, you know, in the Psalms. He's the lifter of our heads. He strengthens us. He prepares us for the day of war. And guys, I'm telling you right now, if you are a true born-again child of the Almighty, you know, if you are a blood-bought possession of God, the God of Israel, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, we are going to rule and reign on the earth with Jesus Christ during his 1,000-year millennial reign on earth. And we're all going to have different tasks, you know, that are going to be given out to us based on what we did from the moment we were born again of the Spirit here on earth to the moment that we're finally redeemed and glorified. So just keep that in mind, and then pray bold prayers, you know, like, hey, you know, if you live in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and you want to be like the governor of Oklahoma, pray to God, ask him, pray big, pray bold. Remember, you ask, you receive because you ask not, you find because you do not seek, the door is not open for you because you do not knock hard enough. And always remember that with God, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, all things are possible. That's from Matthew 19:26. God bless you all.